Welcome everyone to live open source maintenance. Here with Linux 6.8 is out, so fresh, it doesn't have a kernel newbies what changed page. Because obviously Linux developers directly can't write a proper changelog. So a lot of things are new, of course. Deadline server, mechanism, set swap, thermal memory management, facility case. The usual 10,000 changes, of which are 90% refactoring, right? Design web PCI performance, monitoring units, networking, you name it, internal changes, architecture specific RISC-V stuff, and so on, you name it. But of course, on our channel, we quickly want to build that. This also didn't update much. So let's see. The problem is with like AAA leading Linux distribution where everything is just fixed and Itanium support restored. Of course, it will not just build. So let's see. For that, I should check if our team has rediffed Itanium. Do I have the changes? For now, no, we are not deleting Itanium, right? It says don't be frightened and stuff. It's a proof of concept test, right? We also need here this parity stuff, one of those IA64 has parity stuff here in that one. IA64 here. So obviously there's also Itanium. So let's see what happens. It may or may not build, we do this live. Other stuff, and welcome everyone from Amsterdam, that is amazing to hear. Happy to hear, greetings to the world. And so what is new? Clock stuff, right? So drivers for everything, GPIO, pin control. Pin control, if you don't know, is, by the way, usually embedded SOCs have like multiple, easily 4 functions per pin, right? Think UART, I square C for sound, all the such stuff, right? So pin control is actually the control infrastructure to select the function of each usually integrated silicon SoC chip. Imagination Technologies, Power VR Series 6 and later, IMG CPUs. That of course is also for our RISC-V, Sci-5, not Sci-5, Vision 5 2. I've not yet run a mainline kernel. I'm still running what they shipped this with because I fixed enough, but I don't really have time like to test, build and run others big mega corporations mainlining. I hope this also applies. I've not tested that. There might still be stuff missing, right? Like pin control stuff, the usual fun stuff. Also, no, I have here. Okay, this works because my display flickers when another output goes. Yeah, I'm just testing as like people do, like sane people do. I'm testing SIS 6326 here. We can already do some small thing after we finish reading the changes. Hardware monitoring, power systems, hot swap controllers, industrial I/O, LED, all-winner RGB LED controller, Star5 camera. Did we mention Star5 just now? Miscellaneous sound and stuff. Let's hope visualizations, they didn't break too much. x86 no builds without Hyper-V emulation support. Can now be built without that. Reducing the size of the resulting kernel. Yay! And ARM64 for 52-bit LPA physical address extension. Their LPA2 physical addresses. Okay, that still loads. 0 frames, and welcome everyone. And thanks for, it's like, yeah, SES. Last night live on Twitch, we nearly fried our Athlon, my precious PCIe, PCI and AGP board, ASRock Alive Dual eSATA 2. I nearly fried it last night live on Twitch, so just actually test running that, but it looks like actually the eBay seller had a really shabby application of thermal compound on there. It's actually cleaning that Arctic MX6, and so far it is. I booted a couple of times, so like looks like my precious test system here of Athlon, right? X2 dual core. Stuff of this test bed is live. It's already alive longer. It's probably 30 minutes because I rebooted 5 times because I was debugging something from the SIS driver. Let's cleanly delete that just so that I have a clean build for me to install, to deploy. And let's see what happens. So I expect multiple patches to not apply, but sometimes I'm disappointed. Sometimes we're lucky, sometimes we're not. So with our 40 or whatnot patches, right? All the patches, like, yeah, initialize 18. Okay, that's not the most important. It's like, yeah, I can take a look. This I've stolen from Intel Clear Linux, I believe. Okay, they really rearranged. They somehow touched the P3 driver. So this is a quick run, right? I also have a meeting soon. I need to leave in 15 minutes, so that is... which one is it even? Build... They really touched that. That is the VRAM patch. Of course we have to rediff it, right? So that is just a quick 15 minutes. How much changed, how much doesn't apply anymore, how much do we need to fix? We can quickly... Cool, they also removed some wireless drivers. So I rename because it's also... So many things are so extremely stupid, right? It pissed me off for decades, like 15 freaking 20 years ago. It pissed me already off that each bloody Wi-Fi driver had a bloody different Ethernet, like internal Unix, Linux system name, right? So for the longest time, like nearly 2 decades, I just unify the bloody names so that all of them are Wi-Fi or WLAN or what. I would kind of patch them to Wi-Fi maybe. I think it's WLAN, right? Which I don't even find the most pronounceable. So they want, as in good old Linux kernel fashion, they want to basically delete all the old drivers, which somehow, of course, sucks. So yeah, Ethernet naming stuff here, right? Oh darn it. Do I have really 2 things that match for? So yeah, they delete. So yeah, this was Wi-Fi. I mean, I would actually say I like the Wi-Fi name more, but I changed this once a decade ago, maybe because I think mostly I like the Wi-Fi name more, but they all use different names, right? Some even use M-Wi-Fi, Marvel Wi-Fi. You can't make this like, yeah, MLAN. It's like you. Okay, it's not so many are left apparently. Like yeah, they're deleting them faster than I can keep them. Renaming. Anyway, this is stupid stuff. Like each sane kernel maintainer would have made sure all the Wi-Fi drivers have the same name. Did I delete that wrong? There's another. What? What have I done here? Did I... Ah, there were 2 somehow? What have I done here? Ah, whatever. And so for me it was just annoying, like every other system 20 years ago had a bloody Wi-Fi name. Like when Wi-Fi was barely working, and when it wasn't working it had different names, so... Yeah. It looks like they applied this hotfix finally. Oh yeah, they refactored that. Actually, that is also the thing right now. I just delete this and see if the rest builds. Theoretically, I need to spend hours to, I mean, not only PS3, right? But also this one, it is broken upstream. Okay, they also changed some stuff here. That is Intel on non-x86 platforms. Oops. Oh, darn, don't tell me I deleted everything now. Maybe not. Pff, lucky. Where is this patch? Maybe I should have looked up the name. Good question. You know what? I should have checked the patch name. So the breakage is not too large. Yeah, so that is that of course, because we're the only people crazy enough to run Intel graphics on non-Intel systems, like RISC-V. So yeah, unfortunately I will need to sit a whole night, like maybe later tonight or stuff, share, like and subscribe to rediff this stuff properly. Oh. This is the WIS vector stuff that we just rediffed yesterday? Cool. Or the day before yesterday. Yeah, the only constant is change in regressions. Welcome everyone, have a good day too. Oh, okay, this is a kernel where really a lot changed. There's also, why is... So somehow RISC-V is failing here. Hopefully we don't need that today. Let's just delete this. I mean, it's probably just context out of diff again. So each of them will later take 5 minutes to do proper. I just want to see this stuff building and get an overview how much did really break, and apparently a lot. I mean, much more than usual, right? Like usually I just need to touch it a little bit, but this is severe. Let's just see what they've done to P3 FBDev. Push gprod. What? pgprod decrypted? Is also initialize fbops with fbdev macros. Set fbinfo word. Operates on system memory, marks the frame buffer accordingly, help us operate, will test for the presence of this flag. Okay, whatever that does. We will revert this though, so in our changed... Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, they don't use it. I mean, fair enough, they have their new bits, but yeah, maybe I should mainline this stuff. But this is kind of stuff, I mean, yeah, and that's also like, is really more readable, right? Like read, write, it's like due. I would actually argue this is more readable. It's like Linux kernel development and innovation 2024, 30 years later, refactoring stuff like this, in my opinion. Sure, if you know what this does, nah, but I don't know. I find this here, yes, if you're paid by code line, you get 2 lines of code paid less, but I would prefer this visibility. I mean, maybe I would prefer proper object orientation and inherit that properly, the first class language lawyer way, and not YOLOing your own faked object system in C. But if you do, I find this more readable, because I mean, this is... Anyway, I mean, yeah, this is of course totally easy stuff. It's just, it adds up, right? Why do they do that? If a driver sets FBM maps, the core automatically calls prod decrypted, but the default FB code doesn't handle prod decrypted, moves the core decrypted into each drivers. This only concerns... I mean, that's this kind of stuff like, next time we boot P3 and it will not boot again, right? Because, and then we bisect this, it's like, add there some new decrypted memory shit. I mean, did they boot test that? Of course not. I mean, they just touch that and hope for the best, right? It's like commit, and then how does this, it's like, let's hope for the best. It's probably, yeah, it's just a building. Yeah, DRM's FPDEF emulation handles GPG prod decrypted internally via the prime helpers. Doesn't do anything in this case where DRM uses deferred I/O with patch. What is have the call? This is, what is it even doing? It's the first time I see this. Yeah, the only constant is change and regressions. Wouldn't surprise me if some stuff doesn't boot them anymore because anyway, otherwise it appears to build, so we have quite some, I mean, some of the stuff is minimal. All right, you know what, probably the Intel stuff doesn't apply. Wouldn't surprise me if the non-x86 Intel iGPU driver mods we have there, let's say they don't apply because of similar changes with this VM page. So yeah, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, at the end you rediff stuff for 2 or 3 hours. That's basically kinda it for this quick update, right? Leave in the comments below how thrilled you are. And the problem is, not only did I say years ago that Linux distributions kill OS development, because instead of doing a nice new kernel from scratch like a true alternative, there are now 2,127 Linux distributions. And the Linux kernel people, they mostly refactor stuff, right? As seen here. And it's like, yeah, why is there something truly outstanding? In my opinion, probably not, right? 90% of the changes are let's move stuff around to keep everyone busy and hopefully not cause regressions. And yeah, I would really, sure, they will not make the Linux kernel a microkernel overnight, especially as they think they add some eBPF jitting and do some crazy user space kernel interaction, and that makes it a microkernel, like some Ubuntu developer think so, apparently. So only making the kernel more monolithic and more convoluted, but that is probably the Ubuntu way of doing things. This also failed, yay. Failed to rename temporary files in LTO, what? Oh, please submit a bug report for LLVM issues. Duck instruction. To be fair, is this LLVM, did we rebuild? Actually, to be fair, that might be an LVM killing LTO regression I might build with LVM 18 that I did obviously did not yet commit. I probably did this for x86, didn't I? Yeah, this is 18.1. That's like, yeah, there's only constant change and regressions. So what we probably do, and I need to really leave in a minute, we probably release more often. I probably make a dedicated video about this maybe later, because I always was wondering how often should I rebuild ISOs, and I will probably, I mean, I can't all day rebuild ISOs and I have no time to do anything else. However, given how much stuff we fix, including SIS, which actually good that I didn't forget that I wanted to touch here, that one here, XCFGT2 shell, because this does not come up by default and I should theoretically patch that, but for now let's set this diffs to 16, because, I mean, not that you would know that, but just to document this. This probably should work like that. XCFGT2 devs 16 for SIS. Oops. By the way, the one thing I've not yet, I mean, basically if you have exotic hardware, you can always donate it, right, before it collects dust, because obviously we're the last people to actually test and patch things. For example, I wanted XGI cards in my collection, but they usually run too expensive on eBay. I'm not paying $100 or $200 for a totally low performance, low quality XGI, SIS or whatnot based garbage card. I mean, I would pay $690, but not $69.90. So like if you have exotic stuff laying around somewhere, you can always drop me a note. So yeah, what I probably do with all the fixes, because it makes no sense, I fix so much stuff and then very few people get this, all except those who emerge from source, and certainly the ISOs should work. I will probably build interim ISOs in between. So I will probably target, I try to target, I mean, the last release was nearly delayed. Yeah, the big releases were usually delayed like 5 months or so recently, because it's just so much stuff to fix. And now we catched up with a decade of fixes. So hopefully in the future we can do more amazing things again. So I will probably target 2 major releases per year, plus minus, like how the, I mean, we do not do time-based releases, right? We do it works-based releases, not like other Linux distributions that ship broken time-based releases. And I will probably build a selected set of more popular architecture in between. So like, now that we fixed so much stuff, it makes no sense to rebuild 36 freaking combinations. So I will probably try to monthly build like 4 most important, like x86-64, which everyone, which 95% of the people use. I need to think about maybe ARM 64. It's not yet that much used, but the latest and greatest ARM stuff. Maybe PowerPC to test Big Onion, because PowerPC Macintoshes, and maybe RISC-V or so, if that makes sense, but leave me your list of most popular things. So then we would like document and have test images, document the compiling state and have test images kinda maybe monthly, depending on how broken it is. And then like everything is stabilized and tested and stuff like every 6 months, plus minus, give or take, depending on how much you share, like, and subscribe and how broken stuff is. But leave in the comments below. So I reviewed that. Fix to default to, maybe the Xorg people removed 24-bit support or something. So I guess we should somehow patch that to default to 16, because currently the SES, like, did anyone else test that? Apparently not. This is why I just changed this to 16. So if you just run X with SIS driver, it doesn't come up. Oh, by the way, is this still up? Oh, it is. So I guess it's fair to say thermal paste revitalized this aging Athlon 64. So yeah, theoretically that. So we did that last night on Twitch, swapped hardware cursor, that it's not pretty, but it works. That's not the default to, I have this even for Verge. Why do I have this for Verge? I don't even remember what we did this 3 days ago. But anyway, we fixed some stuff. Imagination, Revolution 3D, is it Imagination Tech, whatever. I think Imagination 128, right? At least we documented that. Also, actually, wait, this SES driver has another bug. Did I have here? Here. And also, and work after starting X1s. Because that is in our monster 2.5 hours test stream. SES didn't work because you will not believe, if you run X1s with this bloody SES driver, if you run it you run it once, it doesn't start because devs 24, 32 not supported, whatnot stuff. And then you run it a second time, like the driver apparently leaves the hardware in some state, IO, remapped state or whatnot, that it doesn't even detect, and you can't start the bloody Xorg server a second time. So quality engineering at its finest. That's basically it for a quick test. We found quite some stuff to rediff and LVM Clang broken. So that's it for today, and I see you next time. Someone is at the door, I don't even know who, but I need to go.